Let's hear it for Veronica Robles. Good evening and welcome. My name is Joyce Veriotes. I'm Executive Director of Cummings Foundation, and I am thrilled to welcome you to our 2023 Grant Winner Celebration. First, I have a little public service announcement. Someone has gone out on a beer run. I did hear that we ran out of beer, so there will be more coming, rest assured. Veronica is founder and executive director of Veronica Robles Cultural Center, which promotes Latino arts and culture in and around Boston. It offers youth employment and entrepreneurship programs, as well as culturally affirming classes and events, including New England's largest Dia de los Muertos festival and parade in East Boston. You can find their programs in Boston, Chelsea, Revere, Everett, Lynn, and Lawrence. And tonight we are so fortunate to have Veronica herself right here in Woburn. Veronica is also a fellow Cummings grantee, and she absolutely stole the show last year when she got a grant. Bill and Joyce were reading the grant winner names, as they'll do in just a little bit. And when they got to Veronica's name, she opened her mouth and the most amazing sound came out. And we knew then that that was the kind of joy and energy we needed to set the tone for tonight's celebration. And she has been so gracious in joining us this evening. Before we jump into the speaking program, we've asked Veronica if she would share one more brief song that she thought you all would love. She said that some of you may know the words, and so we encourage you to sing along.
Thank you, thank you. So I'm also the founder of the first ever all-women mariachi band in New England. So today I'm by myself, but with the same spirit and joy for all of you. So everybody asks, ¿Qué será, será, right? At one point in our lives, ¿Qué será, será? Wherever will be. The future says us to see, ¿Qué será, será? Are you ready? You want to sing along with me? Okay. What will be, will be. When I was young, I fell in love. I asked my sweetheart what lies ahead. Would we see rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Come on, everyone. ¿Qué será, será? Louder. Wherever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. ¿Qué será, será? What will be, will be. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what would I be? Would I be pretty? Would I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Come on, sing along. ¿Qué será, será? The future's not ours to see. ¿Qué será, será? What will be, will be. Now I have children on my own. They ask me, mother, what would I be? Would I be pretty? Would I be handsome? I tell them tenderly. Come on, everyone. ¿Qué será, será? Really loud. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. ¿Qué será, será? One more time. Y dice, ¿qué será, será? Whatever future's not ours to see. ¿Qué será, será? De las tan y dice, ¿qué será, será? Whatever will be. The future's not ours to see. ¿Qué será, será? What will be, will be. ¿Qué será, será? Gracias. Thank you, Joyce.
Once again, Veronica Robles. That was amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so around this time last year, Bill Cummings did an interview with Bloomberg Radio, and reporter Janet Wu referred to this event as, thank you, Bill. So reporter Janet Wu referred to this event as the Oscars of philanthropy. We love that. Not because it says anything about Cummings Foundation, but because of what it says about the 150 grant winners. You may not have walked a red carpet on the way in tonight, but rest assured that you are stars in our eyes, and so much more impressive than the stars of the big screen. You are stars of social justice, of education, of healthcare, of human services. We are truly star-struck by what each of your organizations has accomplished, all in service to others, and we could not be happier to partner with you. To kick off tonight's speaking program, I'm delighted to welcome my colleagues, Laura McLaughlin, Deputy Director and Foundation Counsel, and Andrew Bishop, Grants Manager. And they are joining me in sharing our 7th annual grant winner poem. As we look around this atrium, we're filled with awe and admiration for the treasured guests who've gathered here for our grant winner celebration.
Tonight was nearly a year in the making. It all started last July when 630 nonprofits each sent a compelling LOI.
Less than half those organizations made it to the full application stage where your expertise and passion leapt off every page.
You inspired us to write this poem on behalf of staff and each trustee. And just for the record, we got no help from ChatGPT.
Before we laud the grant winners, it's important for you to know that it wasn't Cummings' family or staff who decided where the money would go.
We believe that funding decisions should not be made from an ivory tower because lasting social change requires the sharing of economic power.
Democracy paired with philanthropy, it's a powerful combination. So we invited people of all stripes and formed a diverse volunteer delegation.
There are 90 remarkable individuals on whom we did rely. They are business and nonprofit leaders and experts in DEI.
Members of the media and mayors of local cities, librarians, CFOs, and fundraisers all served on selection committees.
They studied your proposals and formed opinions of their own, but these decisions are far too consequential to be made by one person alone.
So the volunteers gathered together, each sharing a unique perspective. They listened, discussed, and debated. Their ultimate decisions were collective.
For their critical thinking and obvious caring, for engaging in candid conversation, to each of our generous volunteers, we offer heartfelt appreciation.
And now to the 150 grant winners. The rest of our rhymes are for you, for the tireless difference-making work that you've dedicated your lives to.
You are professional change makers, serving up bold solutions. You build bridges, leaders, and movements, and transform unjust institutions.
You create pathways to door-opening destinations, to recovery, careers, and college. And you ensure all people have dignified access to technology, healthcare, and knowledge.
To every nonprofit professional, we hold you in the highest esteem because you are the boots on the ground working toward our collective dream.
A dream for a more equitable Commonwealth where people of every kind have the chance to reach their full potential and no one is left behind.
You are champions of your causes, role models and mentors, activists and advocates, disruptors and dissenters.
We thank each provider of help and hope, every healer and protector. Let's show our abundant gratitude for our amazing nonprofit sector. Next, I'm delighted to welcome my colleague Eric Anderson, President of Cummings Properties and a trustee of Cummings Foundation.
Thanks, Joyce. And thank you all for coming. It's good to see you all here. As I think you know, this evening is our opportunity to thank and celebrate you. And the celebration is going to continue here in a few minutes. But first, I'm hoping I can get a little help from all of you here to help recognize some pretty important people here in the audience. You willing to help? All right. I can tell you that there is no better way to support the efforts of Cummings Foundation, and by extension, the local nonprofits it serves, than to lease space in a Cummings building. So, I'd like to see a show of hands here. So, I know we have a number of clients here in the building, or here in the audience, but if you are currently leasing space, or if you have ever leased space in a Cummings building, just put your hand up for me. All right, there's several in back. Here we go. Thank you. We want to thank you for trusting us with your business. And I also want to thank you because we know a number of you here this evening volunteer for the foundation, and that's very much appreciated as well. Now, in the interest of time, I'm only going to introduce one client this evening, and that is Janine Danielson. Where are you, Janine? Come on up here. So Janine... Janine is a partner and managing director at LGA. And LGA is an accounting and business advisory services firm located just up the street in West Cummings Park here in Woburn. It is a firm that has offered many volunteers over the years to the foundation. And probably most notably, they've been a client of ours for 43 years. Not Janine personally, but her firm. So, Janine, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. All right. I'll put that there so I look taller. How's that? I love following Eric. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this invite. Very high energy. So much good in this room. So a round of applause again for everyone. This is just amazing. That's amazing. As Eric said, LGA has been a proud Cummings client since our inception in 1980, 43 years. Thanks, Eric, for clearing it up. I did not start in 1980. We've had 6 moves along the way, different buildings, different floors, expansions, renovations, you name it, LGA has had it. But one thing I have always said that never changes is Cummings has been such a valuable partner in our growth. I've said it before, I'll say it again, they've been with us every square footage of the way. We remain grateful for their mission. We're thrilled that the rent we pay has much more meaning than this a line item on our profit and loss statement. And trust me, as a CPA, I get pretty excited over a profit and loss statement. To LGA, it's so impactful to be part of what Cummings Foundation does, and LGA can be kind of part of that gift and really feel the energy here tonight. I believe that people make the difference. Relationships matter. I believe that everything is a team effort. So part of the team is the Rockstar Cummings team, who devote tireless efforts to be sure that everything they do is thoughtful. We're witnessing that tonight with this great event. The piece I need your help with is to increase the Cummings occupancy, which in turn increases their efforts to give more dollars away to the not-for-profits. So I ask you, think about your network, someone that may have a real estate need today, tomorrow, next month, next year, and have them contact Eric. Flood his email and his phone off the hook with introductions that you can make. Again, I say they may have a need. Have contact with no obligation, just to talk about their occupancy needs. LGA did it in 1980 and we never looked back. And you can let them know that Janine sent you if that helps at all. To help the cause, Cummings has a wonderful program. If your referral signs a lease with Cummings, your organization will receive the equivalent of 1/2 of the first year's rent as an additional donation. Not half of 1 month's rent. Right. Good. Right. So not 1/2 of 1 month's rent, not 1/2 of a security deposit, 1/2 of a full year, first year's rent. So easy math, because I don't have my calculator, 100,000 divided by 50, divided by 2, $50,000 to your donation. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you to the Cummings Foundation and everything they do. Good stuff. Right? So the team effort I'm asking for is for everyone to keep Eric and leasing really, really busy and really think about and introduce them to whoever you know. We know that Bill wrote a wonderful book called Starting Small and Making It Big. Bill, I'd love a sequel to that book, okay? Based on this challenge, to spread the word that Cummings has occupancy, and for him to write part 2 of that book called Keeping It Full. All right? Let's keep these buildings full, as we don't want Cummings Leasing to be the best kept secret. My grateful thanks on behalf of all of the Cummings clients, here and everywhere. Congratulations, thank you for all you do for your mission. A pleasure.
Thank you, Janine. So, I am going to make, actually I've got 2 more introductions. This next one, was that an or an uh-oh? This next one is to 2 of my newest best friends. So I'd like to ask Molly and Dan Morrison to come up here and join me. Molly and Dan you can step up here, come on, let everybody see you, are of the CCB Foundation, okay? And our friends from CCB Foundation were here with us last year at this very event receiving an award, just like you are this evening. They heard a very similar presentation from Janine, and it resonated with them. They took it to heart. And several months ago, a representative from CCB Foundation was out to dinner with a friend. The friend was talking about their interest in purchasing a building for their business. And they asked, why buy a building when you can lease from Cummings Properties? Have you talked to him? He had not. So they called us, they made the introduction, and earlier this month, they signed a lease for space. So we have a check for Molly and Dan Morrison of $19,624.63. So it's real money, folks, and it's so easy. So thank you for supporting our work. We so appreciate the work that you do and the work that you enable us to do. So thank you again. Oh, you're being summoned. All right. Now, I would be remiss. A couple other people I need to recognize, and that's the Cummings staff. We have a number of colleagues here with us this evening. We have a number of servers, as you've seen, and we have our kitchen staff way out back. They're joining us from... They are joining us from our affiliated company, New Horizons at Choate. New Horizons is a senior living community here in Woburn that provides independent and assisted living services to seniors. And then I think we have representatives, probably multiple representatives from, I think, every department of Cummings Properties here as well, helping out, from custodial to accounting to design. So I want to thank all of you for the work you're doing here this evening, and most importantly for the work that you do day in and day out to support our organization's philanthropic mission. So thank you again for being here. And last, I'd like to make my final introduction, and that is to my colleague, another Cummings Foundation trustee and the chairman and CEO of Cummings Properties, Dennis Clark.
Wow, this is a little mixed up. Here we go. Hey, good evening, everybody. Where's Janine? Janine, if you ever get tired of debits and credits, please come see me. You could be a superstar leasing commercial space. Thank you, Janine, for that wonderful presentation tonight and for 43 years of trust, partnership, and friendship. Thank you. We have a lot of clients in the house tonight. I do want to do a shout out to one more. Our longest standing client, his father have 47 years of partnership with Cummings Properties. Not only is he a longtime client, he's also a dedicated longtime grant volunteer as well. Brian Sisitsky Sales. Where are you, Brian? So are you getting the sense that, like most meaningful endeavors, philanthropy is most effective when it's approached as a team sport, right? It takes a lot of people to do something meaningful. And it's my privilege to publicly recognize and thank another key group of volunteers who generously share their time, talents, and wisdom with Cummings Foundation, and that's our Board of Trustees. Now, without these folks, the Foundation's capabilities, its reach, and certainly its results just couldn't be the same. And their service is entirely pro bono. It's out of the goodness of their hearts, the generosity of their spirits. And I'm going to ask our trustees who are here tonight to please raise your hands, maybe both hands, it's a big crowd, so people know who you are. And with everybody else, please join me in saluting our board members. The introductions are almost over. We have a few more important ones, though. We'd like to recognize several individuals here for their distinguished public service, starting with a pair of highly accomplished mayors. Now, municipal CEOs are particularly well informed on the opportunities for community improvement and increased investment. And the foundation is currently blessed to have no fewer than 6 current or former mayors serving on our grant committees and being part of this diversified grant selection process. 2 of these individuals are with us tonight, and would you believe that both are record holders for tenure in their respective cities? I'm going to ask you to hold your applause till I can introduce them both. But starting here in our home city of Woburn, our mayor is in his it's an unprecedented 7th term, Scott Galvin, but not to be outdone, former mayor of the city of Medford, served in that capacity for 28 years, Michael McGlynn. So I see Scott Galvin here. Where's Mike? Mike McGlynn, where are you? Also among us is a couple who have contributed immensely to Massachusetts nonprofit sector and to the vital work that all of you do. And particularly during the last 8 years, they've been in positions of unusual influence with the ability to lend such vital support. And you know what? They came through. They hugely came through. So please join me in welcoming former First Lady and Governor of our great Commonwealth, Lauren and Charlie Baker. Charlie, I was tempted to introduce you as Lauren's tall and handsome date. If I did that next time, would that be okay? All right. I didn't know if I could get away with that. And finally, it's my pleasure to introduce the co-MCs for the centerpiece of tonight's program. Now, married for 55 years. They are life partners in the truest sense, but they're not always like-minded. And I'm tempted to share 2 personal stories. And why not, right? We're all friends. Now, from the looks I'm getting here, they're wondering, where is he going with this? A few years ago, this dynamic couple was presented with the opportunity to hurl themselves off of a bridge that spanned a very deep and rocky gorge in New Zealand. Now, one half of the couple went over the side. The other one demonstrated common sense. A little more recently, this same couple, they're anonymous, right? I haven't divulged them yet, had an opportunity to swim in Devil's Pool at Victoria Falls in Zambia. So this would be swimming on the very lip of a 455-foot precipice with the water cascading around you. And once again, one half went for a swim. The other passed what many of us think of as a real-life IQ test. So without telling you who's who, maybe they will when they come up, I will share that they are completely like-minded when it comes to philanthropy and Cummings Foundation, which they co-founded in 1986. They were also like-minded in establishing its guiding principles and continue in providing its innovative and visionary leadership. And they are like-minded as a couple, as well as with so many of you here in the room tonight, in their tireless commitment to enhancing the lives of fellow community members. So please join me in welcoming Joyce and Bill Cummings to the center stage.
Is this on? Okay. I just said to Dennis, he's got a lot of nerve. I want you all to know that while Bill was doing these these daredevil things, I was taking care of the passports and the credit cards and the plane tickets and all of that. I mean, somebody had to do it, right? You know. So I'm going to have to send his body back in a box. I'd like to. So anyway, thanks, Dennis, I guess. Seriously, first of all, Bill and I want to congratulate all the grant recipients and add our heartfelt thanks for your part in making the world a better place. Those of you who have heard me speak over the years know I depend on quotes to make my talk sound intelligent and inspirational. Closer. At least I hope a few of them have sounded somewhat intelligent and inspirational. I don't want you to be disappointed, but this year I'm not using quotes. I brought a book full of lessons about how to live a satisfying and honorable life. Don't worry, I'm not going to read the entire book tonight. I haven't read the entire book myself yet, but most of it. This book is a gem. I highly recommend it. Everyday Ubuntu. It's written by Archbishop Desmond Tutu's granddaughter, and it was, I see some people nodding, knowing. It was a gift to Bill and me from an African doctor who was affiliated with Partners in Health and UGHE, University of Global Health Equity. The subtitle is Living Better Together, the African Way. Well, we collectively in this room are certainly not an African nation, but we can and should, and I think we all are, really open to learning from other cultures. As I was reading the book, I couldn't help but think about tonight's celebration, and most specifically about all of you. Those representing not-for-profits receiving grants, and the volunteers who have carefully vetted the applications and made very difficult decisions as to which entities would receive a grant this year. So what are we celebrating? Duh, easy answer, celebrating grants received. But I think another answer is of equal importance. We are celebrating living better together. I am only because you are. Ubuntu means that if we can see everyone as connected to us, we will never be able to dehumanize others or treat them as without any worth. By enabling Ubuntu, we live in hope of overcoming division and becoming stronger together in a world where the wise build bridges. Chapters are listed as 14 lessons. The more I read, the more I thought any of you could have written the book, because you all live these lessons every day. I have listed a few in no particular order. Lesson: see yourself in other people. Lesson: strength lies in unity. Lesson: acknowledge reality, however painful. And I know that every one of us in this room, at some time, I see some heads nodding up and down, have been through experiences, or perhaps maybe going through some experiences now in our lives that are very painful, but it's so important that we recognize them. So then, moving along to something a little lighter, find the human in our humanity. See some nods there too. My personal favorite, you ready for this? Lesson number 9, the power of the F word. Forgiveness. I just loved writing that. That was the best part of this whole thing. I said I wouldn't use any quotes, but I found a few in the book, and I just couldn't resist this one by Nelson Mandela. People are human beings produced by the society in which they live. You encourage people by seeing the good in them. And that is exactly how all of you are living your lives. Through your work and through your own life examples, you are encouraging people by seeing the good in them every day. Thank you for being you and living Ubuntu every day. And excuse me, but I could not resist ending with a quote not included in the book from Dolly Parton. You know it? If you see someone without a smile, give them yours. Okay.
That's it, babe. Which microphone is better, A or B? Okay. You picked the best one, Joyce. First of all, thank you so much, every one of you, for being here with us tonight. And we do indeed celebrate all of you for the tremendous work that you all do in what we call the Greater Boston community. Now, some of you people might be from Gloucester or Lowell or Lawrence, but you're the Greater Boston community, or at least you're northeastern Massachusetts, and that's the zone that we call Greater Boston. We did expand that area just a little bit this year, so we now, in addition to being Essex, Suffolk, and Middlesex County, we go forward into next year with part of Norfolk County. And the part of Norfolk County is any town or city in Norfolk County that abuts the other three, which are, it abuts Middlesex, right, Joyce? Suffolk. I'm sorry, I need part that abuts Suffolk County. So, a little step in the right direction, I think, but we really do want to represent all of Greater Boston. Excuse me. From the time that Joyce and I were first met, we met at Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary, where Joyce was the hospital dietitian and I was a peddler selling fruit punch. We met in the kitchen. I went back to the office. I said, I'm really glad to meet that gal. I think I'm going to give her a call. So I asked her if I could come back in and would she go out with me that night. And we went to the grand opening of the Prudential building, Joyce, was it? Top of the Hub. Top of the Hub. And it was a kind of a fancy deal when all these old guys from Winchester and places like that running around in their tuxedos. And Joyce has never quite forgiven me for picking that destination, and she was there in her hospital whites. She had a raincoat on. She had a London fog coat. It was all covered up. She didn't think that was enough. So we did decide that we were going to get married, and in spite of the fact that she was unhappy with me about the first date, she accepted me after that for the most part. From the very first days of our marriage, we weren't worried too much about philanthropy. At the time, I was drawing $25 a week in salary, and in 1966, and she had a pretty decent salary at Mass Eye and Ear Infirmary, which might have been $3.50 an hour or something. She wasn't well paid. A lot of responsibility, but not too many funds for it. But those were $1966 too, weren't they? From the time we were first married, though, we learned that we both were brought up in families where giving in some manner or other was important. That was always a key thing in her family, and it was in mine as well. We didn't think in terms of what percent, but it was always a question of something we're going to give, and we kept that phrase up, that history up, and we decided we didn't really like the popular thought of the day that one should give until it hurts. And this night is a perfect example. We felt one should give until it feels good. Guys, it couldn't begin to feel any better tonight than be with all of you. Thank you. You're it, though, and give until it feels good, and this is certainly it tonight. One of the things that all of you do is you're working with underserved communities of one type or another, mostly in the big cities. We originally thought that Cummings Foundation should donate in the communities where we had buildings. We've got communities in 11 different buildings now. At the time, it was Winchester and Woburn. That was about it, I guess. And then we started saying, well, let's give to where the employees live. The thought was always, this is where whatever dollars we had, this is where they came from. We should put it back where it came from. And gradually that opened up wider and wider, and we were recognizing that we had 100 clients. Now we've got 1,900, I guess. But many of them came from the big city, didn't they? Well, so we should give in Boston. But we didn't really know anybody in Boston. And I will surprise you with one thing right now, by the way. I think there are about 900 and some odd recipients from the Cummings Foundation over the years of grants between $100,000 and $1 million. It's about 900 plus. Joyce and Bill Cummings, maybe there were a dozen or two somewhere that we selected. We didn't know the rest. We didn't know 5% of them. We didn't know probably, Joyce B, help me, do we know 5% or 2%? Maybe 2. So how do we find you all? Joyce and Bill don't know you. You know, most of our friends, we do now, and we're so glad that we do. Thanks, Joyce. Okay? But we started finding volunteers who wanted to work with us. And what a great volunteer we had to open the meeting tonight, huh? Okay? That was so nice. Yeah. And she surprised us all last year with the organization she was representing, and she let out her voice. We said, we got to have her back. So that was so nice, and thank you again. But folks, the volunteers that we have, and now I think there are about 140 or 150, they do so much. And they go out and they are universally thrilled to come back after meeting with all of you grant winners I'm referring to here now, and learning what happens in your phase of all the good that's going on in this great area, and all the good things that are happening. We tend to look at and try to pay some attention to the numbers that I'm sure some of you have wondered about, and that's the crime rate in Boston. It's pretty dramatic how Boston differs from other cities of its size throughout the country, to the extent that crime has gone dramatically up, particularly homicides. In all of the 10 cities that the globe, I believe it is, represents, are similar to Boston. In Boston, it's gone down. Okay? You guys, all of you, the work that you're doing, helping marginalized people find their way to better opportunities and better jobs, you're making all that difference. There's 4 or 5 organizations in Boston that are doing lots of financing. The most obvious one, first of all, would be Boston Foundation, Barr Foundation, and they do so much as we try to do as well in just reaching out and finding needs. And Fidelity is another one. Some of you will be familiar with Granite City Foundation. Is that its proper name? Rob Hale, in any case. And they're all doing somewhat the same thing. Boston Foundation does more in terms of research and studies and plans for long-term improvements, and the others are trying to find the best way to reach out to organizations. We happen to be doing it through volunteers. More than half of all of the grants the Cummings Foundation awarded last year, more than half, considerably more than half, and these are grants of $100,000 to $1 million, that group, were decided totally by volunteers. Okay? That's marvelous. And we don't need to do it. We're not capable of doing it. We're not capable of hiring a team of 50 people to put together a meeting like tonight. How would we ever do that? We got a good team over there, Dennis and Eric and Joyce B right here, and all the rest of our team would try really hard, but it'd be so difficult. We couldn't do it. So thank you for all of them. I think it's important to think of the way I think of the way all of you are working is as bridges. Bridges take us where we otherwise couldn't go. Usually bridges are taking us over rivers or highways, something like that. Okay, you're building bridges of a different kind. All of you, bridges of hope and love, bridges of understanding, bridges of opportunity. And I happen to think that's the one that really matters. And so many of you are reaching out to different groups who just don't need much of a push or much guidance to be entirely different in their contributions to this world and what they do. So I'm not going to go on any longer, but I just want to thank all of you again for all that you do, and thanks for being here tonight. It's great. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Tell them what we're going to do.
Sure. All right, now the much awaited call outs. They'll be reading each of your names, and it's so fun to see the props from here. So we ask everyone to hold your applause, otherwise we will be here all night, and I will turn it over to Joyce to start.
Unless you want a spontaneous outburst, and keep it quick though.
Sometimes Bill doesn't take direction very well. Joyce, my partner in crime over here, we know. Okay, everybody ready? We're going to do this alphabetical order by town. Acton. You didn't even let me say what it was. Okay, this is the way we do it. I say the city or town, and then I say what the entity is. Okay? Everybody got that? So I'm sorry you already blew your... Acton, the Acton Food Pantry. Andover Public Schools. Lifting Spirits Miniature Therapy Horses. Oh, some... Arlington Eats. Oh, the Furniture Trust. Japanese Bostonian Support Line. The Mystic River Watershed Association. Whoa. Great nap. Bedford, the Bedford Public Schools. Belmont, National Association for Armenian Studies and Research. Beverly, Beverly Education Foundation. Building a Better Beverly. Friends of the North Shore Education Consortium. Oh, that's cute. Ah, that's very festive. Healthmere Center for Cultural Engagement. Historic Beverly. Family Promise North Shore Boston. The Resolution Center. Here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1/8 done. 1/8 done. I get to do Boston, everybody. Here we go with Boston. Amplify Latinos. LANEX. Boston Arts Academy. The Boston Foundation. Where are you? Somewhere. Okay. The Boston Schools Fund. Boston University Hillel. Cathedral High School. Company One Theater. Concerned Black Men of Massachusetts. Ellis Memorial and Eldridge House. Friendship Works. Kwang Khao Chinese School. All right. Thank you. Massachusetts Alliance for Early College. My Life, My Choice. New England Legal Foundation. These lawyers got a good voice, don't they? They do a lot of good work, too. Northeastern University. I'd like to be able to say a few words about each of them, but you don't have the patience for that. We're closing in on a quarter done, though. The big list. Phoenix Charter Academy Network.
When I say proving it, you say possible. Proving it, possible. Proving it, possible.
All right. How about the Pine Street Inn next? Partners for Youth with Disabilities. Very nice. Project Citizenship. Social Innovation Forum. St. Francis House. Student Clinic. Immigrant Justice. Tech Goes Home.
Joyce Cummings for president!
Veterans Legal Services. Wentworth Institute of Technology. Oh, I get one more. I got Boxford. How about Boxford? Community Giving Tree. All right. Good thing I didn't miss Boxford, huh?
Just a reminder, if you can hold your applause and noisemakers if they haven't called your name, because otherwise it's hard for us to see where the organization is and hear what they're shouting out.
Brighton. Brighton Alston Congregational Church. The Home for Little Wanderers. Brookline, Boston Post Adoption Resources. You are over there. Cambridge, BeHeard.world. Where are you? Cambridge School Volunteers. City Sprouts. Oh, love those towels. Those are cool. Food for Free. Transition House. Charlestown, Courageous Sailing. Oh, look up there, big banner. Big banner. Beautiful. Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital. Chelsea, Roca. There you are. Danders, Essex, North Shore Agricultural and Technological School. The Women's Fund of Essex County. Dorchester, the Boston Project Ministries. Girls Leap. He Is Me Institute. Roxbury Preparatory Charter School. Sportsman's Tennis and Enrichment Center.
If you got a ball, throw it one more time. Right out the middle. East Boston, we have East Boston Social Centers. Eastie Farm, that'd be it. All right. Nice going. And Maverick Landing Community. I'm sorry. Nice going. Maverick Landing Community Services. All working for the good. Framingham, we have Framingham History Center. Hey. Hoops and homework. I wonder which comes first each day. Homework till 7, hoops till 9, huh? Marianne Morse Healthcare. Gloucester North Shore Health Project. I do know Gloucester pretty well. I spent 3 years working for Gorton's of Gloucester. Haverhill, Haverhill. Bethany Community Services. Wow. Nice. Haverhill Community Action. All right, okay. And Haverhill Sarah's Place, Adult Day Help. That's where I want to go. Before I go to New Horizons. Jamaica Plain, we've got America Scores New England. Service Corps retired executives. Yeah. No. Thank you. Bethel Institute for Community Development.
Let us march on till victory is won.
Stowe and Jamaica Plain. Everyday Boston. There they are. All right, here, ho. Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. MSPCA. And finally, in Jamaica Plain, we have victory programs. Okay, back to Joyce's turn.
Lawrence, Clarendon Early.
Hey, way up there, way up.
Another one that just couldn't wait. They don't even know. You want them to know who you are? Clarendon Early Education Services. They do everything early. The Community Group. The Dream Network. Boy, it's getting noisier and noisier here. International Institute of Greater Lawrence. Lawrence Catholic Academy. Lawrence Prospera. Mary Immaculate Healthcare Services. Merrimack Valley Immigrant and Education Center. Oh, great. Mill Cities Community Investments. The Psychological Center. Top-notch scholars. Si se puede. Lincoln, the town of Lincoln, South Sudanese Enrichment for Families. It's getting a little noisy here, folks. Let's quiet down a little bit so people can hear. Everybody wants to hear their name called. Littleton Community Farm. Lowell, the Lowell Alliance. Lowell Alliance for the Blind. I'm sorry, it was Lowell's Association for the Blind. Lowell Community Charter Public School. Her popper wouldn't go off. Oh, there we go. Merrimack Valley Food Bank. I think these people over here are joining forces because Thrive Communities of Massachusetts.
Someone just told me there's been an estimate made, and each of you will be asked to pick up about 103 pieces of confetti. Here we go to Lowell, not to Lynn, I'm sorry. Building Bridges Through Music in Lynn. All right. Lynn for centerboard. Girls Inc. for Lynn. Leo. Lysoha, Lynn for Lysoha. All right. Malden, we have the Chinese Cultural Connection. Chinese culture.
Steps.
Up on the deck.
Nice banner.
Nice banner. Malden Catholic High School in Malden. Marblehead. Casa Mariposa. Marblehead Counseling Center. In Marlborough, we have the Advanced Math and Science Academy. Okay. We have employment options in Marlborough. And we have the Maria Esther Health Center. Thank you. Mattapan is Boston Food Forest Coalition. Boston Food Forest. Greater Boston Nazarene in Mattapan. Compassionate Center. Greater Boston Nazarene Compassionate Center. Also in Mattapan, the Immigrant Family Services Institute. Way up. MEFA, Medford, Best Hospitality Training. Medford Police Department, MF, and Tufts University.
Okay, here we go, last page. Natick, Family Promise Metro West. Metro West Mediation Services. Newton, African Bridge Network. Cooperative Metropolitan Ministries. Fit Money. Good Shepherd Community Care. One Can Help. Pathway to Possible. Roxbury, BMA 10 Point. Boston's Higher Ground. BPE, Boston Plan for Excellence. The Dimmick Center. First Teacher. Future Chefs. archery. We are better together. A good theme for the night. Okay, folks, we're getting there. Salem, Healing Abuse Working for Change. Open Door Immigration Services. Salem Academy Charter School. Somerville, Forge. Mass Hire Metro North Workforce Board. Somerville Homeless Coalition. Oh. Okay, hang on, only 8 more cities and towns.
We are almost there.
Then the party can start.
Southie, Thompson Island, Outward Bound. Stoneham Business and Community Educational Foundation. All right, thank you. Wakefield, the Wakefield Alliance Against Violence. All right. Wakefield Educational Foundation. Thank you. Waltham, we have African Cultural Services. We have Mass Farmer Markets. Nice. Very nice. In Waltham, we have Opportunities for Inclusion. Opportunities for Inclusion, back by the stairway. We have Reach Beyond Domestic Violence. In Watertown, we have Families First, right back over on the side. We have Parents Helping Parents in Watertown and everywhere else, I hope. West Roxbury, we have Boston Bullpen Project. Just a couple of more. We have the Arthur Griffin Museum of Photography. We have the Wright Lock Farm Conservancy. In Woburn, we have the Magic Soul House. And Woburn, you wound up the list. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Joy. Okay, yeah. That was like the closing fireworks, the big bang at the end of the fireworks. One last thing, folks. Some of you will remember that a year ago we still had Strega. We had Strega here for just down at the end of the hallway, under the archway, was Strega Restaurant. Well, Strega is no more in Woburn, and we have Teresa's Restaurant just about ready to open there in another couple of weeks. So keep an eye on that spot, the other side of the archway, and it's going to be a neat restaurant. Some of you will know Teresa's from up in Andover and where else? And Andover, Middleton area. They have 3 restaurants up there, and they'll open a nice, moderately priced, white tablecloth type restaurant. So, folks, again, here's Joyce Ferriotis to close things up.
Thank you all. That was amazing. You made it such a joyful and inspiring evening for us. So thank you. We're not kicking you out. This does conclude the speaking program, though. We will open the photo stations again if you'd like to take more photos or didn't get a chance. Also, we want to thank Eastie Farm. They provided seedlings for you all to take. So when you leave through the garage, the seedlings will be there. So big thank you. They're tomato and basil. That's amazing. And once again, congratulations to all the grand winners. Have a great night.